Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast with DJ Reality and your homie Ed, the magician Williams. How you doing today, Eddie?
All right. What about you, man? You and these nicknames.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Life is good. Been
Okay.
catching up on all of this All Star game format, and just thinking about a few things. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. And we could jump right into it. One thing I had a question on, like, how do you feel about the All Star game format since it's changed?
Shit, I don't know, man. I mean, is it gonna be like the what was it, the Rising Stars Challenge? Like how they do theirs? Two teams
So
play each other and then they meet in the finals.
yeah, so what they ended up doing is they had a game yesterday. The younger team
Right.
had a game, or the Rising
Yeah, the
Stars had
Rising
a game.
Stars. Yeah.
Then they have the game today, which is a game. I think it's at 6 o'clock. And within that game, whoever wins that game has to play the team later on in the evening. So which is like another later game. So in the scoring format is to 40. There's no running clock. So
But it's four teams though, right?
yeah, yep.
Because Chuck. Okay, so is it? I think Shaq's team is playing the Rising Stars. So
Hmm.
then is Chuck and Kenny's team gonna play each other, and whoever wins that is gonna play the winner of the Shaq Rising Stars.
That's my understanding. I have to look more into it, but
Okay.
I just know that two go play. I mean, it's kind of like a what do you call it, a bracket. So they're going to end up
Right,
playing each
right.
other in the final game. So, but
I
it's just
guess we'll see how
interesting.
it goes.
Yeah, it's interesting. The only reason I find it because I like them trying to change it up and get people to pay more attention and be more engaged, but at the same time, it kind of changes all statistics and all that stuff. Like because you have a player they be like, oh, this is a higher scoring, you know, play or
Oh
this
yeah,
person scored the most points in a All Star game. But if you play a game up to 40, then how do you calculate
you
that?
do
How
that.
do you yeah? So I really don't
Yeah.
see no easy way to do it, but I do like Silver for trying things, but sometimes not to say that I feel like sometimes he caves in, just he listens, which is fine. David Stern was like, "Hey, this is the format. This is how y'all go like it." Like I think the most David Stern did that I can remember from an All Star game was allowing them to wear their own team jerseys in the white or black. I don't remember any major changing while David Stern was at the head. But what about you? How do you feel about that?
Man, I need to see it to see how it goes. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to shake it up because people complain about it not being competitive, which I don't really. It's an All Star game. I don't. I've never really like. I think if it's close in the fourth quarter, the teams seem to get a little bit more competitive. But like, I mean, to me, it's an exhibition. So some you got T Mac throwing a lob off the backboard, people taking it easy. Ain't nobody trying to get injured in a mid game season. I never really had a problem with it, but I guess if they, I don't know, I feel like they're just trying to figure out a way to make it
Make
more
it
competitive.
interesting. Yeah, make it
Yeah, and I don't know. I get why they're doing it. We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing the Rising Stars pop somebody, but that's just off of. Because if they're the pop Shaq scene, then I'm pretty sure whoever Chuck and Kenny, I feel like they would, their team would come out like knowing, hey, we can't play around with these kids. We gotta try to. I mean, it's interesting. It'll be like I said, I just want to see it, see what it looks like. Um,
Do you think it's a money
and
thing?
money thing.
Like
Um,
as in like if how to incentivize it? Like if you put more money up, will the players play harder? Like, do you think that may be a thing, or how you feel about that?
I mean, maybe, but how much you gonna put up? I mean, if you're an all star, you probably making 20 million a year.
Yeah,
So how much you gonna put up for LeBron to play hard? Like, and LeBron is probably an anomaly. You probably have to think about like your
no.
how much
Most of the
would you?
players, that you mentioned, I mean, you say 20. Most of them are like probably 30 and up. If they on the right team or they got the right contract. I can't think of too
Yeah,
many all stars that would be like you said below 20.
You'd have
So
to
it,
get like a Wemby, who's on his rookie contract, who might not be making a whole lot. So if you said like 5 million, like, but the league ain't gonna pay. Say the winning, I don't know. Say the winning team, each player got 5 million. Then you're
mhm.
talking how many? Well, I'm thinking
Well,
about the old format.
so it's 16-32 because there's 8 players on 4 teams. The way they're breaking it up, I don't know if they'll still get the same amount of money to the Rising Stars as they would to the NBA players, but you still have your 24 players, and then you have the Rising
Right,
Stars however they get paid out. So even if you pay out the winning team, the 5 million that you mentioned, then that's what 40 million of
right.
that goes to the winner, and
Um,
then it's like, well, how do you pay the loser or compensate the loser? Um,
right. And I don't
so
know if the league will be. And the league could do it, but then the fans will like bitch him on about that. Like,
and
why
then
you gotta pay out like
who shouldn't be in it, blah blah blah. So
yeah, and then yeah, then your snubs get a little bit more interesting. Then LaMelo Ball starts talking about like what the fans wanted me. I
hmm
can't get in and try to get 5 million. Um, yeah, I mean it's
Trey
like the
Young,
Pro Bowl.
Young just got
Yeah,
just won.
Trey Young.
So,
Yeah, like it's like the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is never exciting to me. The best thing probably about our Star Weekend is Saturday night.
yeah.
Um,
How'd you
I
feel about
watched the game tonight.
how'd you feel about yesterday? Like how'd you feel about the dunk contest and the 3-point contest?
I mean, I thought the dunk contest was cool between, which is ultimately came down to McClung and the boy out of the
Castle.
Spurs.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was decent. Like, I thought McClung came up with like some good dunks. Like, especially you had to see him on the replay, especially that last one where he tapped it on the rim and then dunked it. Or even the one we had the two. But I
Hmm.
thought Castle was nice. Like Castle, I think the first dunk hurt him. Wait, no, I'm thinking about probably the other dude that didn't make it. Like I thought Castle was solid. I think he just no. I think Castle tried to dunk the first time, and I don't. I think he switched it up maybe
That kept
because it
happening
wasn't
with
working.
the kid from Milwaukee. I don't know how old he is, but I mean, he would try something hard as
Yeah,
hell, and then he just be like, well, forget it. Let me just windmill it real quick just to get it off. And it's kind of
right.
like I like how even though I like how McClung was motivated. He
Yeah,
was motivated even though the competition. Don't get me wrong. I think Castle, was had some pretty nice dunks, but all in all, I felt like McClung was like, I have a point to prove versus
right.
everyone else is just kind of like doing some dope dunks or doing, showing their athletic ability. But McClung was out there like, hey, look, I don't care if it's the best dunkers out here. I don't care if it's okay talent out here. I'm going to go out here
Yeah,
and just do something that's as
let's
creative.
do
And
something.
I like the like you said, the tap dunk. I like the one where he came over the car, but then I like the one where he had the ball on the rim, and then he came
Yep.
over and he dunked that one in too. It was like it's things that, not to say that they could be done by somebody else, but the fact that he was just going all out to do it versus just
Yeah, he was being creative.
I got it locked up, so I'm just gonna do this dunk. So, but
Yeah,
do you,
like he didn't try to coast.
yeah, do you think it'd be beneficial to have all star players in the dunk contest?
I mean, maybe if they getting creative with it, um, like they were talking about Zion Williamson. I'm like, man, what you gonna do? Put a Bengay in the rim and he gonna eat it? Like, wow, because I don't see any other way that Zion's doing anything. Like, they talked about. I guess John Morant. I didn't see anything. Like, I mean, it could be beneficial. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any motivation for them to get into the game. I mean, get into the dunk contest. So I think they've talked about. There's always been times to talking about uh, giving financial incentive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it would hurt because back in the day, you had like Jordan and Nick in there. Uh,
Shit, Dr. J.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, Dr. J.
so yeah,
I mean,
he
we
won an All
say,
Star, but Jason Richardson, you got Vince Carter who was
yeah,
leading in voting that year in All Star. T Mac very young. It was some, not to say that they were. I mean, Vince Carter was name brand already, but it
right,
kind of. adds to it. If I mean, hell, you might not even think about what's dude from Cleveland, that's in the All Star game right now who won it, and you wouldn't even think of him as winning the dunk contest. What's his name? Used to play for Utah. Um, fucking
Garland? No, not Garland.
no,
Said he used to play for Utah.
yeah, he played for. He's an All Star starter this year. Oh, I can't think of his name right now. Oh shit, I think of him in a second. But he got crazy hops so. But he's a starting. I just can't think of
Oh,
the
Donovan Mitchell.
yeah Donovan Mitchell.
Talking about
But
Donovan Mitchell?
yeah,
Okay.
he won the dunk contest. You wouldn't even associate that to him, because he won
That's
it.
right. Yeah. I said that last night. I forgot about it.
Yep. So I mean, it's some people that I look on and I remember I was looking at Derrick Jones. I was like, I mean, I like Derrick Jones as a dunker, but I mean, I didn't really remember him, as a player. Hell, almost with Mac
Yeah.
McClung. Like, Mac McClung was playing for Philly. And I want to say he was on the G League team at the time, and he's on the G League team now. But he's a three
I thought
time.
he was for the Magic. Or is he on the G
No,
League
he's for the
affiliate
Magic
with the
now. He was
Magic?
with Philly before when he won it. But
Yeah. But his first year, he was G League, right?
yeah, yep,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yep. So essentially, the talent is down there as far, and I think he's a pretty good player. I thought he was decent at Georgetown, but NBA star power, I don't think he has
Yeah.
that. But
Nah. Nah. He's known for the dunk contest right now. Like I don't think their star players are like motivated to. Because the other thing too is like they don't want to go up against a Matt McClung and get embarrassed.
hmm
Like their pride is going to take a hit. Like if somebody like a Matt McClung who has nothing to lose, he's in the dunk contest, and you start looking, you know, foolish. Like John Morant would probably take it personally um, if he can't win the dunk contest, and he's in there with like McClung and all the superstars. Like if you put him in that field this year and he loses, then his pride might, he's probably like, man, I'm not putting myself out there to lose in front of
yeah, but that's
these
crazy though, and
kids.
it's like,
I
but
mean,
it's
it's
crazy
crazy, but I'm
because
just saying that's what they thinking.
look at it like
But
this,
go ahead.
right? If you're losing against someone that's like doing better stuff than you, I mean, it's just like T Mac losing. Like T Mac, and when I was looking at an interview, and T Mac was saying how he didn't want to get into the dunk contest because of he saw what Vince Carter was doing every day in practice. So it's kind of
Right,
like, he's literally getting in there to take no higher than second. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
that's just what he that was his mentality going in it. But he convinced him to go ahead and get in it. And honestly, him, Steve Francis, Vince Carter, they was doing some dope ass dunks. You know,
yeah,
um,
they were
even Jerry Stackhouse was okay. He wasn't like terrible. He wasn't doing anything that was at the level of those three. But
definitely
e-
wasn't.
look, everybody knew with Vince Carter in there, it was a wrap.
Right,
And even with Jordan, um, Dominique, all them back in the day, they weren't. Jordan didn't win it every time. Dominique didn't win it every time. It was like they went up
right,
against the best talent. And that's what's most important. Like that '88 dunk contest when it just kept being 50s and 50s and 50s, and they technically, in my opinion, cheated Dominique out of a dunk contest. By giving that 47. But at the same time, you knew the talent was there. Like if Dominique was gonna lose against anybody, it's gonna be Michael Jordan. If
right.
Jordan's gonna
Yeah,
lose against anybody, it's gonna be Dominique. You know.
right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you. Like I don't. Man, I think these kids, their ego is a little bit. Their egos aren't set up to like deal with that
Mhm.
embarrassment. Now, well, they would see it as an embarrassment, and it's like, no, you just lost to a better dunker. I don't think the kids today they don't see it that way.
Mhm.
Like, but then the fans probably won't let it live it down either.
Yeah, the fans are
Like,
assholes. Like, I mean, you just like you said, if Dominique, if LeBron loses a dunk contest, it's like, well, Jordan won, two dunk contests. Why couldn't he
right,
win one? So I mean, I get it.
exactly.
I get it from both sides. I just feel like it don't have to be LeBron in it, but like you said, I really don't feel like. I mean, I can't speak for Ja, but I don't feel like Ja has as much to lose as a LeBron legacy. LeBron
Yeah,
legacy is so attached to Jordan. It's ridiculous that it's like, well, he lost 6-1-4. It's like Jordan 6-0 and all that stuff. It's like, well, shoot, Jordan could win a dunk contest, LeBron couldn't. And it's like, oh, Jordan can
Right.
lead the league in scoring, 10 years in a row, and but I mean, or 10 scoring titles. LeBron can only do it one time.
Right.
It's like, it's like it's always gonna be compared to him. Oh, he played longer than Jordan. That's why you got 40,000 points. Stuff like that. I
Right.
don't feel like Ja has as much pressure, and especially like I feel like Ja would have more pressure if he didn't do the dumb shit with the gun. I mean, because he was already
Yeah.
being touted as one of the best players in the league. So when you
Yep.
have like a good image behind you, then that can
Right.
hurt you some. But then when you got a bad image, they like, man, Ja just hooping in Memphis. You know,
Yeah.
Josh should probably be a starter in the All Star game. But it just is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. No, you right. Yeah.
How do you feel
But
about the Hall of Fame selection? So Sue Bird, Melo, or Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard up for it.
are they only up for it? They didn't get inducted. Well, they didn't get
Well,
chosen yet.
they finalists or whatever. So
Oh, they're
whenever
finalists.
they end
Okay.
up as finalists, they gonna be the ones that get inducted. So
Got you. Sounds okay to me. I don't know who didn't make the cut, but those three sound okay to me. Like they all seem Hall of Fame worthy. Kind of
yeah,
surprised Dwight got in on the first. Is this his first ballot?
yep,
I'm surprised they put Dwight in first ballot. Just and not because he's not deserving of it, but because they snubbed him on the top 75.
yeah. I was about to say that. How do
And
you how do
maybe,
you
and
feel
maybe
about
they
that? No, they snubbed them
what
on
the
the
top
first five.
70. But I was about
They
to say though, I don't know that the same people that voted for Hall of Fame were voted for top 75. So it, I, so it might not be the same. I was just saying it might be a
just
different set
the
of
same
people that were
like
voting.
criteria or whatever.
Well, which I mean, the people who voted on top 75 were wrong anyway. But
Mm.
um, now, if these were the same people, or the majority were the same people, I'd say, well, y'all put them first ballot Hall of Fame, but y'all couldn't put them in the top 75.
Yeah, no, that's
But
crazy.
I don't know the committee, but no, I think they all seem deserving to me.
So how do you feel about it? Let me ask this question: like with the top 75 thing, the top 75, what they did was they added 25 names to it. Do
Hmm.
you think it'd be better served to reshuffle the 75 and take people off or take people on, or leave it kind of how, because they had never did this before. Like they only did when they did the top 50. That was their first
Right.
time doing it. What I'm saying? So like, do they need to reshuffle and add or remove people, or should they, because sometimes with legacy, people can, don't take my father off of that list. He's already, he's been there, for 25 years. um
No, I, mean, I think
but
if you're doing the top 75 with somebody in the top 50 is no longer, if he, I mean, it's possible somebody from the top 50 could get bumped. Now, I don't recall who was all in the top 50, so I don't know who I would bump in favor of Dwight. But
mhm.
if you make the top 50, that means the next 25 that come up should be better than you. Like, not just Dwight, but
You
like,
talking about the
because
evolution
then,
in general, just within the game?
so,
Like I said, within
no,
evolution
what,
or within the game in general.
say that again. What do you mean?
I said within evolution. So as an example, like say for instance Jordan, right? I think that there's like players watch Jordan to understand that okay, this is what we need to do as far as the next 10 or 15 years to be as like Kobe, right? So you could say Kobe might be talent wise. I mean, he's a better shooter than Jordan, or like he was he was better in a sense that he took the blueprint and became
Right.
a better player within the game. So all players in a sense should be able to look at older footage or just older players in general and take what they get from it and become that much better. Like say for instance,
Yeah.
Carmelo, Carmelo should be better than Bernard King. It's just
Right.
I mean Bernard I mean they have a very similar bag as far as being able to shoot from anywhere on well, Bernard King wasn't really a 3-point shooter, but Melo wasn't either, but Melo would step out from time to time. But they had a game that I thought was very similar as far as being able to get to the rack, being able to have a mid range game and being able to, just make the shots when it mattered. So,
Right.
so, but
I don't know. Like, cause for instance, Oscar Robertson probably shouldn't come off.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and I guess if you want to say
I don't think Wilt
Russell
either.
Westbrook, yeah, well, like I think maybe some of it has to be. I think all that should be taken into consideration before you. I don't think somebody from top 50 should automatically be removed. But if you
Hmm.
can make an argument that like there's now 25 other players that are greater than him,
Hmm.
like off of taking anything into account, the era they played in, their
Hmm.
impact on the game, and things of that nature, then maybe you think about it.
Say Bill
I
Walton,
mean,
right? Bill Walton.
I was about to say Bill Walton could come off because he probably shouldn't have made the first 50, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because Bill Walton, he had a pretty good first 4 years. Got won a championship, MVP. I think he was an All Star 5 times if I remember correct. I can't remember. I know he's six man of the year. Um, but he had like I think it's from like 79 to like 86 was just almost like a rough range for him. After winning the championship and then signing to Boston and all that stuff. Like, and I think he only averaged in sometimes you could equate it to points, but I think he averaged maybe 13 points a game and like not even you know doubled. I think maybe 7 to 8 rebounds. I got to look at his numbers, but he didn't have like stellar stats that said that he should be in it. But sometimes they equate the college careers and stuff like that because I mean he was a menace at UCLA. You know, so it just depends. So
It was Grant Hill. I'm trying to look. Was Grant Hill in the top 75?
I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so.
I mean, some of those arguments for Bill Walton, I'm like, Grant Hill put together a nice stretch of 5, 6 years. Granted, he didn't win a chip, but I
I mean,
mean,
Christian
when
Leitner.
you
I
look
mean,
at those numbers,
yeah, Christian Leitner. I think he won on a dream. I think he's in for the dream team though. But he won on the dream team.
well, I
Went
wasn't
to
talking
see.
about Hall of Fame. I was talking about the top 75.
Oh, top 75.
Which,
Oh no,
yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no,
It's hard.
Grant Hill, he is in the Hall of Fame.
It's hard for Grant Hill though because with the injuries that after he once he got traded or
Bill Walton had injuries, though. I mean, I'm just saying in relation to you, he was
one
okay.
where he was the Finals MVP is what I'm saying. Like you know, at one point in time, Bill Walton was one of the top five, top 10 players in the league. Grant Hill was
Grant
too.
Hill wasn't.
No, no, I said Grant Hill was too. But I mean, hell, Grant Hill could even go down as a top three, top five player at one. I would say maybe 97 to 98, one of those years, right before I think he got hurt in 99. But no, it might have been later than that. When did he go to Orlando? Was that 2000? Was it 99? Because I remember Jerry Stackhouse. You say what? When did Jerry
I was
Stackhouse?
trying
Because
to look
Jerry
it up.
Stackhouse down there led the league in scoring when he was a Piston, and he was on that dunk contest. That was 2000. I can't remember, but it's just hard for Grant Hill with all of the injuries. It's just like I don't know. I mean, do you think Stephen Marbury should be in the Hall of Fame?
Uh, I don't understand what they be doing in the hall. Like, I mean, he probably got the stats, like based on some of the other people that got in.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Um,
of him, but he
yeah,
has numbers. Um,
yeah. So I think now if we're gonna start talking about winning and all of that, then yeah, you probably don't put him in. But I mean, if you talk about the numbers, I think Steph was like a consistent 20 and 8. I don't know
yeah,
what his career averages ended up being.
it's 28 and 19 and 9, like literally like right there on par for his whole career. Except he might have had
Yeah,
them Boston years and stuff like that, but
yeah,
he
yeah.
was
So
when he was the man, he was the man. Like I said, I'm not a fan of him just because not like I hate him or anything like that, but I just noticed every team that he played for was terrible, and then whenever somebody else went there, they were pretty damn good, and that's just I
that's what
never
Larry
understood.
Brown said too.
So it just literally it felt like he may have been a cancer. I don't know. I wasn't in the locker room, but it just felt like every time he went somewhere or left somewhere, the team got better or the team got worse. So
That's what Larry Brown thought.
hmm. Do you feel like okay? This is a random question. Do you feel like Larry Brown? Now, add somebody posted on one of my posts the other day, and they said Larry Brown was one of the best coaches ever. Do you feel that?
I don't know. He could maybe be top. I don't know. I could see somebody
NBA,
getting him in the top 10.
yeah. If you say NBA, right? If you look at coaches that are noticed, and honestly, I feel like some coaches had the cheat code where you have like
Right.
I feel like Phil Jackson had the cheat code. I feel like
He
Pat
did.
Riley had the cheat code. Um, you know, when you have like one of the best players in the league, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think X's and O's are important, but
Right.
when you have one of the best players in the league, it's easier to try to execute those X and O's versus, you know, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a coach like Mike Brown. Mike Brown, I don't know, man. It seems like I'm not to say he's a top five, top 10 coach or anything like that, but he seems to like can understand, like he was doing good in Sacramento, or they was kind of started off rough this year, but he had Sacramento believing they can, be a decent team, you know.
Right.
But like
I
I
mean,
said, with
but in
Phil
the
Jackson,
argument for Larry,
you said what?
go ahead.
No, what was
No, I
you
was
gonna say?
just saying in the argument for Larry Brown though, like he led that Pistons squad to a championship. Like, and if you there was no bona
Mhm.
fide superstar on that team. Like, and he got them to
But do you think that they were not? I so it was a lot of luck in that year, and I say luck as in like getting Rasheed Wallace. You know,
that was
when Rasheed
you
was,
just made a trade.
huh?
So then, I mean, they traded for him. How's that like necessary? Like, luck in what way you traded for him?
No, they traded for him, but he was literally in Atlanta for 2 days. He wasn't supposed to be in Detroit. And then, do they go after him? With Carmelo being there, if they would have drafted Carmelo. So it's I feel like a lot of like the stars aligned
Now
and
we get
worked
into a
out for him.
bunch of what ifs.
No, but what I'm saying is that's just a scenario. Like Carmelo should have been the number two pick, but everybody said
Why,
Darko was
why,
the
why,
pick.
why should he have been the number two pick?
He was dope as hell. He won an NCAA championship. The year
We win.
before they had him.
We
The year before they
we
had
won't
him
do
be
this.
first
We
round
won't do
projected. I'm just
this.
I'm just saying in general, like the year before they had him projected
No,
like
the thing that everybody forgets is that Darko Milicic, that was at the height of when people were taking European players. Darko Milicic was said to be probably one of the best players in the draft. Like at the time, nobody shitted on Detroit for taking Darko. They
I
started
did.
shitting on him when
I said it
Carmelo
then.
came along. Okay, man.
I said it then. I was like, why in the fuck
Okay,
are they drafting Darko Milicic and
okay,
not and they said that they didn't
okay,
bring Melo in to work out.
okay. Melo,
That's
who balled out for Larry Brown in the Olympics, right? That Melo, right? The Melo that Larry Brown would have embraced,
yeah.
right?
The Olympics went to 2004.
Yeah, that he would have balled out like he balled out for Larry Brown in '04,
No,
where
I
Larry
don't think
Brown sat
I don't
all of
think Larry
them.
Brown's a good coach. I mean, I don't like. I feel like Larry Brown took a team that was already, a 55 win team and took them to a championship and figured it out with Rasheed Wallace available. Like, you know, if they're already, with what's his name, Jim Carrey, white boy for the Indiana Pacers, the coach. It's like, they had the team together. All they had to do was figure it out. So it was an
Yeah,
excellent,
I'm
excellent coach.
with you on that. And you
So
could say the same thing about Doug Collins in Chicago, but people don't say that.
yeah, that's some fucked up shit too. Like that's the same exact scenario. But that's what I'm saying. Like Phil Jackson had it laid out for him. You say, well, I put this offense in. It's like, nah, man, any offense with Michael Jordan was gonna be able to figure it out. All they had to do
Right,
is figure out how to get through the East. The West was kind of like the West was aging. You know, there was nobody. It was nobody to stop the Bulls except the Pistons and Boston. Once Boston got
right.
old, once Pistons, started to get a little
The
older,
Pistons got
and
all, yeah,
and trading players, with Rick Mahorn and all that stuff, it was just like it changed the energy of the team, and they just got beat by a team that they had lost against a lot, beforehand. So
Isaiah was hurt that year.
yeah, shoot, hell, even in the finals with the Lakers, what's dude a coach? I can't think
Byron
of his name
Scott.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah, Byron Scott, Worthy, Magic got hurt in that finals too. So it's just like they beat them 4-1. The Lakers won the first game, but after them injuries started to happen, I mean, what could you do? You know, people never take that into account. They only care about W's, right? Same thing with Cleveland when they lost against Golden State. Even though Golden State had a roster, Kyrie and it was tall white boy. Damn, I can't think of his name right now. Um, who ended up going to the pit? Who ended up going to Cleveland for Wiggins in that trade from Minnesota?
Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love. It's like they were both hurt in the finals. Like that first 2015 finals. How do
Right.
you expect LeBron to, you know, win against that? Like I said, I'm not
Yeah.
defending
I mean,
LeBron to say you need to
but
win, blah blah blah.
are part of the game.
Yeah,
I hear you, but injuries are because the Pistons when they beat the Lakers, Byron Scott and Magic both got hurt and they
yep.
swept them. Like I think injuries are just a part of the game. Um,
Mhm.
but I mean, but I'm,
I don't
I'm
think, I
you
don't
know,
think no team makes one. I'm just saying I don't think you could say not you specifically, but someone could say, well, this is I mean Jordan 6-0, like he like don't you win the championships, you win the championships, but to say that they played the best talent at that time. Most people, I'll say it,
right?
me personally, like you play who's in front of you. Like you catch an injury,
Exactly.
it is what it is. But other people say, well, this is. I mean, LeBron going up against Clay, Dre, Steph, Iggy, um, all of them, like at full strength. That's that's a bit difficult. So to take that, I think those things should be taken into account as far as record, like because you can't you like it's just like Iverson going to the finals. It's like, in my opinion, hell, Iverson probably shouldn't even been in the finals with that team, even though that team did win a
Right.
lot of
Right.
team awards. But there's hell. I didn't even think that they should have got the game that they won. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. So
I got you. That makes sense.
yeah. So let me ask you this question. Irv Gotti passed maybe about a week and a half ago. Um, So, what's some top songs? And I could just throw some out there if you don't have them like offhand. But like, what's some top songs you remember that Irv Gotti produced, whether it was famous or not famous?
Didn't he do the Murder Inc. joint that Jay, DMX, and Ja Rule were on?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go ahead and name the others.
I know I got. Let's see what I got. I got "Can I Live."
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
I got "It's Murder." I got "Race Against Time." That was just one of my favorite Ja Rule songs. Whatever. I got "What's My Name" by DMX. And then those are more the harder songs. I think I
yeah,
said it's harder, but you had mentioned that one. But then like some of the R&B stuff that he had, I had Between Me and You, Put It On Me, Always on Time, I'm Real, and What's Love by Fat Joe. Like those are some of the ones that I remember that
yeah.
resonated or that were out there.
Okay, that's not a bad little lineup. Yeah, Irv Gotti, he was a solid producer. He was solid as what he did in the music industry.
I think he had a great ear. I think he just understood how to make things work. I thought it was kind of fun when he was trying to have Nas um, go up against like Sign the Murder Inc. and all that
Right,
stuff. That's kind of weird, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, it's a move that I mean. I remember one time I was in a room with 50 Cent and he was talking about his beef with Nas, and I had asked him. I was like, but would you sign him though? He was like, well, I mean that he was kind of like saying that kind of have anything to do. I was like, no. I was like, would you sign him? Like that means that he's a talented artist,
right.
So would you? He's like, yeah, I signed. It's like, I mean, that's what it is. Like, you know, if you can, you know, not to say that 50. I don't think 50 would sign Ja in any like if they enemies
Nah,
or whatever.
no way.
But
Yeah,
I mean, he would literally try to, 50 laws of power and just try to continuously destroy him. And so let me
yeah.
ask you on top of that, do you feel like 50 was wrong for all of the kind of trolling that he was doing with Irv Gotti when he died?
Yeah, he didn't have to say anything. Like you could just let it be. Now, if somebody asks you a question, you could be like, "Hey, I don't rock with him," but like
Mhm.
to just do it unprovoked, like, nah. I mean, the man died. Like, you good? Let it go. Like, but at the same time, that beef between them is it goes outside of rap. Like, I don't. So I don't know. I don't know about the personal aspects of it. That like, hey, I mean, so that if it's personal, like it's easy for me to say let it go. But whatever personal beef you holding on to that might have like sparked this, whether they tried to kill you, whatever it is, I
That
don't.
part,
It's
that part,
then
man, is it's hard to tell people how to react to their feelings. And I feel like 50 has been not necessarily tormented by them, but I feel like he has PTSD against that crew, and it's
yeah,
almost like anything goes wrong on their side, I'm about to highlight it and crush these niggas just because they tried to do that to me. And
yeah,
like I said, it's not something that I would, necessarily do. Like I told you, me personally, I just watch you fall and just show myself getting better. But
right,
50 will show you that, hey, look, I'm getting better and y'all are terrible.
yeah,
Um,
and he'll tell you about it. So like, I
yeah.
mean, like I said, if it was just a music thing, I'd probably be more inclined to say, oh, 50, you probably really shouldn't have done it. Like, I don't
Hmm.
really think it was necessary, but at the same time, I mean, I want to say, especially when it's personal, like you react the way you react. I never had anybody try and kill me or blackball me from my job. So I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know,
And just
somebody.
imagine just a nigga at your gig right now just saying, like, don't let that nigga get a job. Don't let that nigga get a job.
Yeah,
So then you constantly trying to figure out how to get a job. So you end up going somewhere else. You get the job that you want. And then now
right,
you're at the same level or even higher than they are within their job. But you know that person was hating on you that whole time. And, not to say that they die or anything like that, but um it's smoke,
it ain't
whenever I
gonna.
see,
Yeah,
you know.
there won't be any flowers coming out. To so I mean, it's I like I said, I think those are one of those beats that like, man, it's more than what I think. At least me, like more than what I know. Like I think it's a lot more going on in that beef. That
Mhm.
I mean, and 50 being 50, I mean, it's on brand for what he does. So, like, if what you consider one of your greatest enemies dies, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey, who am I to tell you not to revel in it? I mean, that's your conscience that has to deal with, if that was wrong on your part. And I don't think 50's conscience is going to tell him he was wrong.
Mhm.
But it's cool. I appreciate 50 and his pettiness, though. So,
I
I'm,
love it.
I'm
Cause
yeah,
I look at it. So this one thing that's dope about 50, right? We all don't like it, but it's all stuff that we do on the inside rather than saying it out loud. Like
right.
people, I don't know, man. People, we in a different culture now where you have more of a voice of, you posting social media, blah 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 blah, and it's like your voice allows you to say, "Oh, that's fucked up." That 50 said this about Irv Gotti or
Right.
stuff like that, rather than honestly, like I said, I wouldn't do it myself in a sense of not necessarily kicking the man while they down, but kicking the man while they dead. But at the same time, it's like I can't tell people how to react to how they feel about something. It's just how it
Right.
is. I just try to empathize and be like, well, shoot, that's they move. As long as they don't fuck with me and my money, I care less.
I like
But
that
how you feel about
philosophy.
the Big Meech, him and Big Meech? You know the whole story and everything going on with that.
Then Big Meech like take some money from Rick Ross or something, and I don't know. That's about
Yeah.
all I know.
Okay, so the idea of it is, or what's been going on is, you know, 50 got the BMF, right? Got the store
Right, right,
for the show,
right,
and it was supposed to be the concert ended up getting canceled, but it was supposed to be a concert and the way that Meech was promoting it, he took a picture alongside Rick Ross, and then Rick Ross had on like the Big Meech Show blah 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 T-shirt, and Meech
Right.
had on like a Rick Ross T-shirt or whatever. So, but it's almost like how, like I said, I don't want to push my opinion into the scenario, but it's almost like you're over here eating with us, but you over here with the op, or you over here with somebody that's against it. And
I
I've
mean,
always
everybody
like
know how 50 move.
listen when I saw the picture, I was like 50 about to say something like before like because I don't know how I saw it. I think Rick Ross might have posted a meet one of them, whoever posted it. When I saw the picture, I was like, oh shit, like. But people are like, why is 50 acting like this towards this? I'm like, yo, you knew he was gonna say something. Like, what?
Yeah,
Why
that's
is
what 50
why?
is. That's on brand with 50. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
So
50 here that we got a TV show together. Like 50's just like, yo, why you fucking with him? I'm getting you
yeah.
money. I'm doing your life story right now, and you signed on it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can. I feel like those things are worth a conversation. Be like, hey, look, I'm trying to do this concert, and like I said, he ain't got to report into 50, but I mean, he got
I
to
mean,
know
he
that.
don't. But then when 50 get ready to drop the show, then I mean,
Yeah,
50 can react the way that he reacting. You gotta understand there might be a level of power that 50 has that it can impact you. So you ain't gotta check in, but you gotta understand the consequences to your actions. And what if 50 is right or wrong? Like this is on brand for who 50 is.
yeah,
Like 50, if you go against 50 is gonna beef with somebody and you align yourself with them, you become an enemy of fifth. It ain't. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's right or wrong. I mean, I understand where he's coming
I'm
from.
totally on the
So
side with 50 on this one,
yeah,
where
so
because it's his brand. Like, so when you start
yeah,
compromising my brand with operating over here, because like I said, I'm
right,
doing a whole show about your life, about
right,
everything, and your family is eating off of this. Like, why do you have to go to this side? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, y'all can be friends and all that stuff, but don't be promoting over here. And
right,
it's almost like you're cross promoting your product with like Rick Ross's product with 50's product. Like 50's like, well,
right,
shit, if you don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. I don't want Rick Ross associated to my product at all.
right.
So essentially, it's almost it's almost like you take that picture and 50 don't have to. You know that 50's going to get questioned about that. Like
Yeah,
50, how do you feel about this picture? Blah blah blah. 50 don't even have to answer those questions no more. 50 already said what
yeah,
he said. So now that's
right,
dead in the water. But you know that if 50 doesn't say anything, you know that that image has the impact of 50's business. It's
right.
automatically going to be an interview question for 50 from now on.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah,
just a little crazy that you would go to that side even though you know that it's going to impact your business with 50 Cent. Like he literally has your show. Like he's doing
yeah.
your show. Like lead it. I don't know. Just bad business for me.
I feel you.
I didn't
I feel you.
I didn't really get it. So
No,
let me ask you this
don't
question.
make any sense.
What's your I was kind of looking this up, and some of them you may I'm pretty sure you're aware, or you may have some albums that's some of your favorites or the last. And what I did was I was trying to think of like the last 10 years, like what's some top albums of yours. So like from 2015 to 2025. If you sneak some in from 2014 to 2013, that's fine. But what's some top albums that you were listening to within the past 10 years?
I stopped listening 10 years ago.
Damn,
Killer Mike off the top of
that's
my
one.
head.
Yeah, that's one I wrote. So
Um,
what about Cardi?
I actually, I ain't listening to Cardi. I mean, it doesn't make it as a top album for me, but I understand why people put it as a top album. Like I didn't like it's probably over the past 10 years. There's not a whole lot that I'm looking
What
looks
about
like
the culture?
Kendrick.
Migos, the culture.
No, I'm old man. I don't care. No,
No,
I
I'm
mean I
saying
get
like
why people like these
albums.
albums. Outside of my personal taste, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
let me look this one up. It came up on the list, but I didn't think it was in the last 10 years. But what about the life of Pablo?
The Life of Pablo.
Kanye.
Uh, that album was. I mean, I guess it's gonna be a top album because it's Kanye, but like it wasn't. Man, that album was weird. Like he was still trying to do like changes to it after he had released it. Like talking about it was gonna be a living album, and there's probably 3 or 4 tracks that I could think of off the top of my head that like I rock with, but it's not a. The last dope Kanye album was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Feel you on that. I think the
What,
life of
what year
Pablo
did
had
that come out?
potential. It was just too convoluted and just had it was a
Yeah, it was
hard
no
album.
cohesiveness.
Yeah, it was hard to listen to. It was I mean, like you said, you have some songs that you like on it, but it's just like it was all over the place, and it was
Yeah,
really. Like if I was playing that, you know how like you have an album and you playing it from front to back. That's an album that won't get played from front to back, even though I thought it had some
no,
good
not
songs
at
on
all. Yeah, like I was just listening to one of the songs. I think the joint with Rihanna
it.
uh,
Yeah, I love that
earlier
song.
today. I put it on the playlist. Yeah, but um, oh, Kendrick's Damn. I'd rock with Damn.
That one I got that one up there. Was Forest
Um,
Hills around that time?
maybe I ain't like that album.
Yeah, you
Was
didn't like
that
that
the
album?
album that was? Nah, but I haven't really rocked with
Yeah, it's
J
December
Cole.
9th, 2014. I mean, it kind of
Yeah, it's there.
around
It's
the time.
there. Yeah,
Um,
but I mean that's a top album. Looks like if you're reading this, it's too late. Was
yeah,
2015.
that one had definitely had an impact.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
what about Daytona?
oh, definitely Daytona. Anything that Pusha T dropped in the past 10 years is probably top 5.
Okay, all right. Good. What about
Because what we got Daytona, then we got
you
oh,
stay on Pusha T. What else you got for
what,
Pusha T? What
there
else
was
you on?
something other than Daytona. There was one that came out during the wait, was Daytona the Kanye joint?
Yep. Yeah, the 7 track
Oh,
joint.
the dry joint, the one he came out with a
That,
couple
that
year or
one
two
after
ago.
that one was dope. In my opinion, I thought that one was better than the
Yeah,
one.
then
Um,
Daytona.
yeah. What was the
Yeah,
name of that
I
album?
forgot what it was called. Something about dry, some drug reference.
Yeah, it
Clearly,
had the Whitney hotel
who
room.
Daytona?
Yeah. No, was
Yeah.
Daytona the one with it, or
Well,
was it the other one? I thought it was the other one.
I thought it was Daytona. Let's see. Wait, was it
Yeah,
Daytona? Daytona. I'm
because
trying to
that was the
remember
one that had
Daytona.
his brother on it, right? Because Daytona didn't have his
I'm not
brother, and
sure.
I can't think of the name of the other one.
No, it's almost dry. Was
Yeah,
2022, and then
yeah, I thought that
Daytona was
one.
2018. But yeah, I like that. It's almost dry was solid to me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Um,
Daytona had the hotel room shit on it.
yeah. So that made me think about Benny the Butcher. He had some album that I liked. What was it? What was it? It was
Would you put that in the top 10 last 10 years?
we saying well, I mean not commercially, but in my eyes, yeah.
No, no,
But
it ain't
I
gotta be
give
commercial. No, it's just what up shit. I
uh,
mean, what's that nigga from Indiana? Like, I can't say commercially any of his albums, but I think he had some pretty reverend albums like with the time. What's his
Freddie
name?
Gibbs.
Yeah,
No, no,
Gibbs.
okay. Oh yeah. Gibbs has done. There's some people that have done some solid work. I think so Everybody Can't Go, or was it Burden of Proof? Um,
I like Dirty Sprite. That was a Future. I felt
oh
like yeah,
yeah.
I felt like Future had a nice come up um, during the. I mean, he was out before then, but I thought like that time I would say between like
Yeah,
2014 until up until now, um, that was like his era, or he was doing his.
yeah. He came into.
What about Run the
Um,
Jewels?
yeah, I saw them come up too. Like yeah, I think that little stretch that they've had, like over the past 10 years. Like I think the Run the Jewels albums I've listened to, I've enjoyed. I I'd have to
I haven't
for
heard one
me a
album
top.
I like from them.
Yeah.
Drake was that
Um,
too. I feel like Two
I'd
Chainz,
probably pick one of the Nas.
but I think the
I'm
Two
not-
Chainz first album came out earlier than that. Um,
Oh
I
yeah,
like
I
that
think
one
you're right.
album where he did the what's the name of that shit? That he did the joint with Ninth Wonder. Um, that was my shit. I can't think of the name of it. It was like the first song on the album where he's talking about Jay-Z still won't give him a feature and shit.
I don't think I've heard
Did
that.
I say 444?
You had mentioned that, and then we went somewhere else. But 444, yeah, yeah. I think that can get up in there. I'd probably pick at least one of the Nas albums that he's done with
Yeah,
who was that
yeah. That
producer he's done with?
uh,
Boy Wonder. Is it
yeah.
no, it's a Boy Wonder? No, it's not
Boy,
Boy.
Boy.
Is it Boy
Nah,
Wonder? Um,
one it might be. It ain't Wonder Boy. It ain't Boy
no,
Wonder.
it's not.
What's the nigga name? I can't think of the nigga name. He used to always produce for Kanye or for Drake. Um,
Yeah, him and Freddie Gibbs. No, I think he produced a song that Freddie Gibbs and Big Sean had. Hit Boy. Hit Boy.
Hit Boy.
Yeah, like I'd probably at least choose one of those albums out of that run that he's had in the past few years. Um, so actually, it's been a few releases.
Yeah,
It's been
it's been
solid.
pretty
I
solid.
don't.
You know, no, like I haven't
Yeah,
went and bought a CD, but you know, there's some pretty good albums that dropped within those
that drop.
within that window.
Yeah,
Because you would think like because think about it like this: we used to buy a CD damn near. I would say at least every 2 weeks.
right.
You
Yeah,
know, and that frequency has went down tremendously. I'll download the album just to hear it, but the last album I did buy the Kendrick album just so I can DJ with it and stuff like that. But
what the most recent one?
yeah,
Okay.
but it's not as if like if I could have just listened to it on Apple Music, I just kept it there or whatever. But for be able to DJ with Serato and stuff like that, you got to have the actual physical MP3s on your computer. So
There's
yeah,
some that I would just grab on vinyl. Not like so. I wouldn't mind grabbing the Killer Mike on vinyl. Um, I think I have one of the Pusha T's. No, I might not. Like some of those that we mentioned, like I
listen, it's
wouldn't mind
terrible though.
grabbing Pusha T on vinyl, huh?
I'd have grabbed it. It's always dry on vinyl, but the Daytona, like
Yeah,
that shit only had like 7 songs, and one of them was an intro.
I did, but I'm a Pusha T fan, so I would have. Plus for the cover art, the
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Houston hotel room, I
Mm-hmm.
would have. That probably would have been. That probably if I end up grabbing it, that'd be a motivation. Um, the Kendrick one, like I probably grab Kendrick Dams on vinyl. Um, I probably, I think I actually have Good Kid, Mad City. Um, the one
Mm-hmm.
I could maybe. I mean, some of this new one is more about the kind of everything that's going on with them. I haven't gone back and listened to it probably in a couple of months, but
The
it's
new album, the recent album.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
okay. I
horrible.
like
It's just I don't get into a lot of music too much anymore, though.
I feel. Don't get me wrong. I think it was a decent album. It's not bad or terrible. I didn't think it was like great
Yeah,
or this is the millennium
that's
album.
not a classic. Yeah,
But I mean, this is a question I already know the answer to, kind of just from what I've been seeing. But how do you feel like the beef has impacted Kendrick's career within the past year? The Drake Kendrick beef.
I mean, it's been a great year for him. He got the Super Bowl. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think this album, like people wanted to hear the album to see what he's doing. Like I think it's helped his career. Uh, I mean, I think Kendrick has had a strong fan base, but uh, I don't know. Does Kendrick get the Super Bowl without the Not Like Us?
I don't
Maybe
think
he
so.
does, but maybe
I don't
not.
think
Like I
so.
find it hard to believe. Like because that Super Bowl show was
It was
to
okay.
me it was for hip hop heads.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I
It
enjoyed
wasn't
it.
bad.
But I like yeah, I like
Yeah,
Kendrick, and
I wasn't expecting all of the flashy lights and all that stuff like that. But at the
yeah,
same time, for what we expect from a Super Bowl show, you expect to see a bunch of featured. Like I was like the song that he did with SZA or even Luther, like song I ain't really care for
yeah,
on the album. It was like I don't know. It would have been cooler to if it wasn't a beef and it's like, oh, I can bring out Lil Wayne or I can do da da da. But people was like, well, why ain't Lil Wayne go come out? I was like, why would Lil Wayne come out if Drake is his artist? Why would he come out with Kendrick?
right,
Like that
right,
doesn't make any sense. Like that would be almost the ultimate test of disloyalty, even if you know Drake
yeah,
may get a sign off on it. That should just be weird. And it's
right.
like that's another quote unquote loss in Drake's belt. So I was like, nah, you
Yeah,
can't do that.
it is.
So
But
I don't know. It's
nah,
just interesting to see how. Don't get me wrong. I think Kendrick is a great artist, but this has been the biggest I've ever seen Kendrick off of.
right.
Ironically, if you look at it, it's literally off of the beef and then the album that came at the end of November. There's
Yeah,
not been like you had the beef, because was it started with the song with Future, with
yeah,
Metro from last year of October or October the year before, but that wasn't really no. That was kind of like a shot, but
yeah,
when the beef kind of unfolded and stuff like that, I mean, not like us. Everybody, and they had everybody's attention. They had everybody paying attention
yeah,
to, like, Meet the Grams or Family Matters or all the other diss records that was coming out. That it revved up that attention. So then when Not Like Us came out, it was kind of like a build up that we was probably like as fans we were waiting to see the knockout blow, and
right,
that was it. That
right.
was the one
Yeah,
that just shut shit down. It's like, nah, we playing on the radio, we playing out
yeah,
here on the West Coast, we playing on the East Coast, we playing in the South, we playing this song everywhere. And
right.
that's
Yep,
essentially what was the demise of Drake, losing the battle. But it's just
yeah,
interesting that I keep seeing articles daily, daily, daily. It's like, oh well, even the Super Bowl thing talking about all the messages and stuff like that. It's like, nigga, I don't. It's like
yeah,
was it is it Uchiwali or is it One Mic? Like when I was here like back in the day, it's just like
right,
those are the type of thing that resonate. Like you wearing a kufi, like this shit was like, do I really have to understand the message to like the music? It's like, no, I don't give a fuck about a message. I like music.
right.
I listen to music
Yeah,
for the sake of music. I don't listen to music to I want to say don't not learn, but I don't listen to music just to be able to look at, oh, he did this in the Super Bowl shit, or he got
yeah. I
Serena
feel you.
Williams out here doing crip walking and shit like that. Like, I don't give a
Right,
fuck about this shit. Honestly, I thought it'd have been doper. And don't get me wrong, I liked the performance, but I liked it enough as a fan. I didn't care for it for Super Bowl, status, but it would have been just enough for me if he had just did the dun, 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 and then just went on to the rest of his music or his catalog, because that essentially showed me that, or would have showed me that I don't need to benefit off of this beef with the most famous rapper that's out there over the past 10 or 15 years. I could just stand on my own music and go from there. But I feel like a lot of things that pushed him to perform, and like I said, hey, look, perform whatever you want. It's your stage. But I feel like what pushed him to perform it was the Grammys. So I think if he wouldn't have won all those Grammys, he wouldn't have performed it. So
maybe. I mean, but he could. It's a Super Bowl, one of the
yeah,
biggest stages.
his narrative, like shit, do
Just,
whatever you want.
just, yeah, just be petty and do the kill shot.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck it.
with it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the largest stage ever, for football, for just
yeah,
American, because they said Drake turned it down like a couple times. So it's kind of like it's just weird now looking back at it. Like if Drake comes and do the Super Bowl next year or next the year after that or 3 years, like, oh, he's doing it just because Kendrick did it. That may
right.
not even be
Yeah,
the case, but anything that comes after is because of the impact of the beat, and that's the
right.
part
Yeah,
that's always weird to me. So,
yeah.
but
Good old Drake.
yeah. Well, last thing, and I know because we got to jump to another call, but the Diddy stuff. I don't know if you heard, but Diddy is suing NBC now over the
No, I
over
don't know
all
a
of
thing
the
about Diddy.
libel and all that shit. So,
Uh,
you said what?
Go ahead. I don't know any of this.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't pay attention to Diddy, but okay, he's suing them for his little.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
that on Hulu or
All the
something or
documentaries and
somewhere?
all that stuff. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
documentaries popping up, and because essentially saying y'all don't
yeah,
have no evidence, but y'all saying I did it. Like saying that one of
Yeah,
the things was, and we kind of mentioned this last week, but like the party that he threw in New York, that saying that he was
oh
responsible
yeah,
for people being murdered, or people dying, for that stuff.
yeah.
So, but it's just interesting to see like they won't let this shit die down. Like they won't let the Diddy shit go away. And I'm like, man, like why is it still like? How do you, as a, because they're doing a trial by jury, how is it you as a juror can say I'm not familiar with any of this stuff when it's 10 or 15 documentaries out there saying that this guy is guilty, whatever. Like, how do you have an unbiased opinion towards uh, towards Diddy or just anyone in general? Like, do you
I
think that
haven't
that's
seen any of
possible?
the documentaries. It could be. I haven't seen. You said 14, 15 documentaries. I have no idea what's been said. I don't pay attention. Like, so you.
I watched the
Now it
ones on
might not necessarily be.
HBO Max. I watched
Say that
those.
again.
I watched the
I
ones on
didn't
HBO
watch.
Max. Yeah, I
I didn't
watched
even know
those.
there were any on HBO Max.
It's a series, nigga. It's like,
Oh
well,
no, no.
I think they're on episode 5. I watched the first 4. Yeah, I think they're on episode
That's
5 now, or they're about to release episode 5.
that sounds like nothing ever hold my interest. I mean, I think now. I guess if you're talking about a jury of his peers, I mean, who are his peers? Because he's also wealthy. Like I don't know that. Like for instance, like I don't pay attention. So what this stuff you're telling me about the documentary, multiple documentaries? Like I think I saw one pop up on was it Hulu? Because I'm
Nigga,
thinking because that
look,
might have been through,
it's one
or
on
was it
Hulu.
Peacock?
It's one on Hulu.
Or
It's one on Peacock, which NBC. Um, it's a series on HBO Max. I saw it on Roku. I saw. Did I say Hulu? I don't remember, but you had mentioned
yeah.
Hulu. But I've seen it on every streaming platform pretty much that I watch, outside of
I mean,
maybe Paramount Plus or anything like that. But it's literally been on every single platform. It's like the fall of Diddy. I seen it like Tubi was probably one of the first ones that had it. So, but
oh,
it's
I
all
did
over.
hear about them having it. Yeah, but see, like I see it pop up, but I don't click on it. Like I see, and maybe I'm in the minority because I just don't care.
Yeah,
Like I don't. It don't matter to me. Like, look, take him to trial. If he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's not guilty, he's not guilty. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like read through the evidence. Because I don't care. Because I'm not going to be on the jury. So I don't. Honestly, like I don't care about Puff. Like he made some good music. He go to
hmm
jail. He don't go to jail. I'll still listen to it. Like I don't. I just don't care. Like that's so. Like my mortgage went up. Me knowing what Puff do ain't gonna help me pay the increase in my mortgage. So
look, I'm with you.
I just don't care. Like I don't really like. But it's not just Puff. It's just like a lot of the celebrity stuff. I don't
It's
care.
just like
Maybe if I was
like
back in my
like you get
20s.
older and you stop. I mean, and that's you get older, you don't really care about it so much. I would say that it's exhausting to see people still like I said, I'm not for or against Diddy. I just hope that those people that felt that they suffered by the hands of him. I hope that it's not true. And for
Yeah,
Diddy, I hope that everything comes to him that's expected. Like I said, I can't.
whatever you like.
Whatever happens, happens, and I'm like,
Right.
Diddy goes to jail or Diddy's free.
Yeah.
I care less, and it ain't gonna do nothing for
Yeah.
me.
Look,
Like Diddy
man.
ain't gonna line
He
my pockets.
yeah, if he get locked up, he get locked up, or if he's free, so that him and Meek Mill can explore their romantic relationship, then more power to them. Like
I
true
just
love
wish
should
I went
never
to
be
that.
denied.
Look, I
You
wish I'd
said
have went
what?
to the Bad Boy. I said I still wish I'd have went to that Bad Boys reunion tour. Like that is one of the worst regrets I have in life. Cause that shit is never gonna happen again.
It won't.
Ever.
But it was pretty dope show though. It was.
Yeah, that shit
But
will never ever happen again in life.
nah, Puff
Um,
is canceled officially. Puff got like save
and
somebody. Like
right, nah, nigga,
he,
that nigga could send
yeah,
out.
he gotta say
He's still not going like Puff is done. No matter free,
Puff.
like you know,
Puff gotta be like on a plane or a bus that has like Barack Obama, maybe the Pope,
mhm.
um, like like 10 little kids that aren't saying that he's trying to poke them in the booty hole. Like
Mm-hmm.
Puff, like the level that what the actions that Puff has to take to no longer be canceled are are not there. Like Puff is never gonna be on a bus with like the Pope
He'll
and
never do
Barack Obama.
it. Nigga, once you
Like,
cancel a nigga, like it's it's so hard for Puff to be able to rebound from like I don't even say it's hard for Puff to rebound. Puff will not rebound from this.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you just
So
gotta nigga, you just gotta be a Russell Simmons and just go to Bali, nigga, and go from there. And because I think they tried to
that's,
take him in, but just
yeah, that's
get
what
this
his
shit out
ass should have done.
get his
Yeah,
ass out the country and keep it moving, man. Cause and just be rich, you know.
yeah.
Mm,
So
so
his
cool.
kids will be all right.
They will be, but shit. I was watching, I was watching some Tubi movie that had not Christian, Albie Sure son. What's his name? Uh, I
Justin?
can't,
Was it Justin? I know.
no,
I don't
just
know. I know what you're talking about though. Oh, okay.
Albie Sure son or whatever.
Yeah.
I was watching some movie the other day because somebody was like, "Yeah, watch this movie. It's pretty bad. It's on Tubi." And I started watching it, but yeah, it had his son in it. I was like, "Oh shoot," looking just like Albie Sure. So,
Yeah. That's funny.
but 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 thank you all for listening. We gonna wrap up. Appreciate you, Ed, for being able to jump on. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and you can look at it on Apple Music. You can look at it on YouTube, or you can look at it on Podbean. We're working on Spotify right now, but right now those are the current options. So thank you. Please like and subscribe, and talk to you soon.
Peace.